training partner. So smart, so strong, so funny. Let's go with your training partners. We're ready.
Team, welcome to Training Partners, where two fitness professionals bring you strong takes held loosely. I'm Weezy Shoemaker, joined as always by Justin McClintock. And today we will be bringing you a spicy, strong take on what is listen to your body and why is it terrible advice.
Oh, I love it. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Your body's a liar.
Not
and
always.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, I would like to shoot the shit a little bit before we jump right into it. And also, I think we both commonly work with people who have seen other people at some point. Maybe that's a doctor, physical therapist, another coach, etc. Usually not somebody's first stop. And often people are told, well, if it hurts, just don't do it.
Yeah, it's
Or
gonna
like,
be a fun.
or just listen to your body. Your body will tell you, okay, well, what if my body tells me all that I want is cocaine and Diet Coke? Like, then where do we go?
That's such a. And first of all, I think this is perfectly common, but it's so funny to be like, I'm gonna do cocaine, but I'm gonna be good. I'm only gonna do Diet Coke. I wouldn't want all that sugar messing up my. But that's also like, I've been to Los Angeles. That's completely what happens with all kinds of people.
That's hilarious. I hadn't even considered that. Yeah, I'm health conscious, so I'm going to go with Diet Coke, the beverage, but standard cocaine, the drug.
I'm also very spiritual, aka I microdose ayahuasca. Great, cool.
Right, of course. Yeah, got it.
Excited to hear about your zine.
I think we're like the new equivalent of zine.
Yeah, to a degree, I think that's probably accurate. Though there are a couple of places in Providence that are selling zines, like the Xerox stapled together pieces of paper, overwhelmingly hand drawn, back to basics thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
And
really
it's
know
like a new,
like
fun, trendy thing.
Yeah, it seems to be coming back around again in a way that I'm like, oh, I'm also noticing like, wow, a lot of the college kids are wearing like low-rise jeans with really wide cuffs, and I'm like, it is 1997 all over again, and sweet.
Couldn't be me. Never gonna be me.
Like, my stuff is finally coming back in fashion because I haven't changed.
Yeah, I'll be out of fashion until skinny jeans come back around. You can
probably 15 years. Yeah.
Yeah. The thighs are too thick to be like for wide leg pants to look even remotely okay. I just end up looking like I'm wearing a sack.
Well, there were those kids. They were usually like the skater kids or kind of like art, emo, goth adjacent kids who would just take the wide leg to like the super wide leg. You'd be walking along, you're like, well, that's too wide.
Right.
Now it's confusing.
Too much. It's too
kind
much.
of a skirt, but but you're also like the back of your jeans are all ripped up because you step on it with every single step.
Right.
And it's fraying and it worries me.
I had some like that, but it was because we were poor.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, hey, we're going to buy you 2 sizes up so that you grow into them. And then what ends up happening is they fray at the bottom.
I had a lot of that. Did you have like a family member or a neighbor or someone who was a little older than you that you got all their hand-me-downs? Was that part of your experience?
Totally.
Yeah. There was one person, he's my cousin. He's great. I love him. But he was, how's Don? I think he's like 5 years older than me kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I would get all of his stuff every 5 years. And, my aunt would bring over 3 trash bags of clothes or whatever. And they were all just awful. Though I would go through it and my mom was like, so excited. We don't have to go shopping. We don't have to buy new stuff. And I always hated shopping. Like I didn't want to go back to school shopping, but I was also like going through these horrible stripes tops and ridiculous corduroy pants being like, well, I get beat up enough dressed like me. If I wear this, my life will be in danger. So now I have to navigate picking a couple of pieces so I don't get in trouble. But throwing away stuff that I'm like, it's just so ugly. I can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
At like, 12 years old.
A slightly different experience. So I'm an only child and my family was never well off. And so, yes, we were very happy to accept hand-me-downs from other people. And there was one particular person, I think like 3 or 4 years older than I am. And they were a wealthier family.
Oh.
And she was the only daughter in the family. And the place to shop that was like trendy when I was in middle and young high school was Limited Too, and then
Sure. Yep.
into American Eagle.
Yep.
Or like if you were really wealthy, like Abercrombie. That was like the you see the back of the jeans. You're like, oh, that person spent $80 on pants.
Right.
Weird.
In 1999.
Right. And so I would get a bunch of like Limited Too and Gap and American Eagle stuff from her.
Mhm.
And also, it was a little more provocative than my parents would have ever allowed me to outright purchase.
Oh, interesting.
And I remember this one particular like dark turquoise boat neck top that I could not wash fast enough. Like, give me back this incredible, like, curve-hugging thing that my family would never let me buy, but because I got it for free, they're not gonna do anything about it. So I had a different experience. The clothing that I got handed down, I was very, very proud of and pleased with.
That's so much better, and I'm so jealous of your experience. Every
Yeah.
time it happened, it was like a yearly thing, and I would always be hopeful, and I would open the bag up and start going through stuff, and my heart would just sink. Like, I can't wear this stuff, and it's impossible to explain to your parents that, it's not cool and I need to look cool as an 11-year-old. And I'm like, "No, I don't. I know you're not gonna buy me, like, the Champion sweatshirt, but I can't wear this." Like, my
Can't
life
wear
is
this.
like, I'm so short, and I'm the smartest kid, and I get picked on constantly. I can't give them another reason to pick on me. I just
I
wanna
can't do
hide.
it.
Please don't make me wear
Right.
the purple,
I
yellow
can't
striped
do it.
top.
Yeah. This is one of the reasons I'm thankful that Walter is at a uniform school.
Mhm. Makes it
And
easier.
he's been like delighted to get dressed,
Mhm.
which continues to reinforce to us that he's enjoying school without him telling us he's enjoying school. He's like excited to put on his polo and khakis every
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, the uniform thing, as long as it's, super achievable and has but usually, like, having some leeway, like, well, they have to be, khaki or tan pants,
Right.
as opposed to, well, you have to buy it from our official supplier, which is,
Right.
like, and those are, like, there's schools that do that, and
Mhm.
those pants tend to be $200, as opposed to, like, no, they're tan pants. Like, the high school I went to, you had to wear trousers or slacks, like, it couldn't be jeans, and
Mm.
a collared shirt that was tucked in. That was it.
Mm. Yeah.
Interpret it however you like.
Right.
There may have been, like, a collar minimum. I think that, like, it had to be, like, at least 1 inch because some kid would show up with a T-shirt and just, like, fold it over like this, and be like, "I've got a collar."
Oh, it's a collar.
And we had someone who was the disciplinarian. That was his title.
Yeah.
And he would reach into his back pocket and whip out a ruler and be like, "Let's see. So
Mm.
sorry. That's a detention."
Yeah, Walter's policy is similar. You can wear any bottoms that are black, navy, or tan.
Sweet. Easy.
Including like they allow like higher end joggers.
Okay, sure.
And so like not a fleece material, but like kind of a canvas with a drawstring is fine. Which is great because he hasn't mastered buttons yet.
Yeah, especially
So,
for kids that age.
right. And then a collared shirt of any solid color. And it can be like a long sleeve button up. It can be a long sleeve polo. I guess in theory, it probably also could be some type of quarter zip with a collar.
Mhm.
And then they let them wear jeans on Fridays if they want.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
we
he does
had
not want.
there were occasional, like, casual dress days. I don't remember how it worked. but there was, I want to say like once a semester, there was a day where we could wear basically whatever you want, including
Yeah.
like pretty provocative t-shirts and things like that, which I had a good time with because it was a Jesuit school. So I would wear some pretty outlandish stuff just to get a rise out of the brothers.
Sure.
The brothers
I
being,
can't...
to be clear, monks.
I appreciate that you clarified. The brothers.
Yeah.
Whereas Jack today insisted on wearing a Spider-Man t-shirt with a Spider-Man long sleeve over it. And then the entire way into school, he was doing Spider-Man hands and says, Spy-Man, 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 Spy-Man. And he walks into the classroom and, Spy-Man.
And you were like, okay. Enjoy, have fun with this one. I gotta go.
Bye. See you. Have
I assume he's going to do this for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about what you've been up to today? In our constant updates?
I think we should. So today I submitted the lease and an almost $10,000 check, which I will certainly not be earnestly refreshing my bank account to see when it clears. Of course not. So very, very excited. Not gonna, I mean, we're like 99.9% of the way there. And also until the keys or the key code are literally in my possession, I'm still going to be just a little bit on edge.
And we're recording this on Friday. You plan to have keys in your hand on?
Yeah, on Monday. So the person who was at the office today is the representative of the brokerage group that my realtor's been dealing with quite a bit. And she was sweeter than I've ever seen her today. Well, that was...
And you brought in all the money? They love that.
Just interesting commentary on customer service. But very sweet, very kind. There was one page I did not sign because signing it would say, hey, I acknowledge that I've received possession of the property, and I haven't. So I said, hey, I didn't sign this, and I'm not going to.
Unless you want to give me some keys, and then I'll sign it.
Right. So she said, I will get all of this over to the landlord. We'll make sure that payment clears, and then I can rather meet up with you and give you the keys, or I can give you the code to the lockbox, which might be helpful for you if you know that there's going to be some people in and out working. I said, yes, I would prefer that. I would prefer not to have to meet the painters every time that they need to come and go, or give them my keys. Absolutely not.
Babysit people are.
Right. So I should have that on Monday. So
very cool.
More information to follow. I've been like so stressed. So stressed. And I texted you about this a little earlier today, and I think you were confused, and I'd love to explain it. I said, I need to take a beat. And then said, I typed an address into the calendar and it did not work. And so the context behind that is that the place that I had to go to turn in the lease and the check is a part of town that I am almost never in. It's a really inconvenient part of town to go to. Parking is terrible. Traffic is terrible. It's basically all one ways. The highway interchange is bullshit. It's a part of town I don't like going to, and I kind of actively avoid. And I'm very unfamiliar with how to get around it. And so I needed to leave to get to here, my office. And my brain is so gassed that I was like, okay, got it. I need to drive to the office. And I opened the calendar and typed in my office location. And then it took a minute to be like, why is it saying no results? Oh. Got it.
Yeah, I don't think I processed that it was calendar. You're like, I typed this in and nothing happened for navigation. It's like, I don't understand. Like, is the address wrong, or did Google mess up? Or I had a thing in Philly for a while where my house moved on Google Maps one day. Like, it moved by a block. So when you type in the address, it would show you that address 1 block north. And the way I found out was trying to have some food delivered. And I got the, like, your food has been delivered. And I'm standing on my front porch being like, or front stoop. Like, no, it hasn't. And I look at the picture and I was like, I wonder where that is. And I opened the map up and I was like, dear, this person like just followed the Google Maps, didn't
Right.
look at street signs or anything, but I get it. A lot of people don't, and dropped the food off on the little blue dot. And so I had to run up and go get the food. And I was, to any passing observer, I was just stealing food off someone's porch. I was like, this is mine. This is mine. It's definitely mine.
Hilarious.
Please don't open the door. I don't want to have this conversation with anybody.
Yeah. No, this was not a
Doing it in your
maps
calendar will
malfunction.
not work. Yeah.
Yeah. No, this was not a technical failure. This was what we in the tech business call an EBCAC error, which means exists between keyboard and computer.
Yeah.
I am the problem.
Yes. It's something of an air gap, as they say.
Right. That's right. Yeah. And it took a minute to be like, why not happening?
Yeah. It might be, I mean, I know you'll be thinking about and refreshing accounts and stuff like that, but it might be nice to have the weekend, like to have this little time where you can't get started. Like it's pretty much settled. There's nothing else you can do. There's nothing you can move forward on.
Well, that's not true.
Well, but like a moment to like take a breath and then hit the ground running again on Monday.
Right. I think probably, and it's okay. We've talked about this concept before of it's okay to be going a little harder than your capacity allows for, so long as you know that there's an end date to it. And I think I have been in that season, and it's about to get a little worse before it gets a lot better. So I do actually still have some things to do this weekend because I need to finalize the paint colors with Sherwin-Williams themselves. Which this is maybe a good time to talk about client communication for the umpteenth time.
Sure.
Here we go. Buckle in. We talk about a lot how important it is to set expectations with folks. And I have had a really positive experience with the painter that I've hired, save for one teeny tiny little piece, which I plan to tell him after he's painted the place, that when we got the estimate, I gave him my brand color printout and said, hey, I need these walls to be this, these walls to be this. He took all the notes, said, great, we'll color match it. Sounds good. All we're going to need from you is just a confirmation of when you're going to get the keys and a deposit payment. Great. So then the next thing that I hear, which is from somebody else who I have not met, who I've not spoke to, was a reach out to say, hey, we need you to pay the deposit, and we also need you to go to Sherwin-Williams to pick your colors. And I was a little like, why? You have my colors? And the owner reached out to me a couple of days ago, and I really appreciated that he gave me a call just to like check in. Hey, how are things? Haven't heard from you this week. We want to see if it's looking like we'll be able to paint next week, yada, yada. And said, hey, also, I'm really sorry that you're going to need to go to Sherwin-Williams. We took them this printout, and they are not able to match a hex code. Like, they need you to come in and sign off. And I thought about doing that on your behalf, but decided, based off of the exchanges we've already had, that you're so particular about your brand identity that you would probably want to make that decision yourself than have me, who is not your brand, choose for you. It would have avoided 100% of my frustration if that was how the second person who reached out with,
exactly.
hey, go look at the colors and pay us, had led with.
Yeah. Like, not like but I took care of this. What are we doing?
But,
and it
right.
And it introduces all this uncertainty, and your trust starts dissipating right away because you're like, oh, well, I thought we had taken care of this, and you said this was something you could do, and you said this was something you understood, and all of a sudden, either it's not being communicated, or something's being dropped, or I was misled, and now I'm worried about the entire project.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
What else am I maybe misunderstanding? What else have you told me you can do that maybe you cannot do? Right. And so now I have like complete trust and complete understanding and right back to full buy-in. But it would have been really nice to kind of skip that messy middle by just having all of the information when it was available.
Yeah, for sure. And that's something for the owner. It sounds like the owner's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I agree, after it's all said and done, they would probably find that useful and be able to like come back to their team, either how they communicated, please call this person and do this,
Right.
or how that person took the information and executed on it. Can I ask
Right.
a nerdy color question?
Of course.
Do you have the other kinds of values for your brand colors aside from the hex code? Do you have like the RGB or
Or the
the HS?
CMYK.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. You might be able to get that online and get it
Mm.
translated. I
Mm.
have in my brand kit, I have my hex code, but I have like 3 other versions also. Like if you're
Mm.
doing it in this one, here's your CMY, here's your RGB, here's your et
Yeah.
cetera, et cetera. And they might, I don't know. I think it's
Yeah.
weird that they can't match a hex code. Maybe they could match one of those other things you could bring in and at least get, very, very close and then say, we need to tweak it a tiny bit.
That's a good idea.
That might help, as opposed to just like doing it by feel.
Right. Being like, this is close enough.
It was actually Sherwin-Williams, when I was moving out of Philly, I was doing all these touch-ups on the wall,
Mm-hmm.
and they have a little gizmo
Mm-hmm.
that you can buy. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a light
Mm-hmm.
sensor that connects
Yep.
with an app, and I would just put it on the wall, connect the sensor, be like, "Tell me what this is." And like, "Oh, it's this paint. It's the closest Sherwin-Williams matches this. It's a 98% match. This is
Mm-hmm.
the gloss." And I
Yeah.
just wrote all those numbers down and went and bought a
Right.
small amount of 10 different paints to do touch-ups all around the house.
Mm-hmm. We have learned the wrong way, maybe not the wrong way, but the hard way, how important matching gloss is.
Very.
When we were doing our big renovation that we did, reworking the boys' rooms 2 months ago now, which feels like an eternity ago, feels like a whole life ago. That might have only been a month ago. That's funny. We also, because I am the type of person who, once I'm working, it's like, ooh, what are all the other things around adjacent that we could also do while we have this time and energy and are in this headspace? Decided I wanted to touch up the basement as well. And we got a perfect color match, but it is not the right gloss and it
Mm,
looks psychotic.
yeah, it looks very weird.
It looks very weird. And I have not decided yet if I want to go back and get it in the right gloss or just paint the whole damn room because I'm not really obsessed with the color anyway. Jury's out on that. Let's open the gym first before we decide to take on any other massive projects.
I think it's a fine idea, as long as nothing is actually urgent. As long as the roof
Right.
isn't leaking, all projects
Right.
get pushed to second place right now.
Right. That's right. I'm not sure what order these will come out in, but the last episode that we recorded, I gave an update that I had found a lump in my left breast. And the update to share on that is that I do have a mammogram and an ultrasound scheduled this upcoming Friday. And we will just know what we know when we know it.
Got an appointment in a pretty fast. That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Just a
Pretty
couple of weeks.
solid. Pretty
That's
solid as somebody who is not in their system and not under active care of an OBGYN.
Yeah, did not have a caretaker as of 5
Right.
days ago.
Right. Yeah. Cut a couple of lines. Fortunate to know the right people to call and have some good folks on my team. Should we get into it?
I think we should.
Cool. So today's topic, I wanted it to be a little looser, and then I started doing some research and was like, no, that's not going to be what it is.
I am shocked. Imagine.
So the premise for this episode is, what is listen to your body and when is it bad advice? And so rather than giving people kind of like a rubric of like, what are the questions I need to ask when I'm experiencing a sensation in my body, I want to go over some kind of common things that people experience and what that thing often actually means.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Does that sound fair?
Totally.
So some of these are a little more nutrition-y in nature. And the first one that I hear a lot from people that are onboarding as nutrition clients, because I'm also a precision nutrition certified coach, is I have 3 p.m. sugar cravings, so I should eat sweet things at 3 p.m.
Right. Which is
Right.
listening to your body.
Right. That is listen to your body. Your body is saying, I am craving specifically this thing. I should have this thing. Right. But the kind of nudge behind that I commonly give to people is that is your body telling you it is not actually getting what it needs somewhere else.
100%.
Right. The body is really, really smart. And if it is not getting the fuel that it wants, it will say, hey, I just want the thing that I can use the fastest.
Exactly.
Right. And so if we think about this from a circadian rhythm point, meaning the hormonal rise and fall that we experience throughout a day, we typically have a dip in energy somewhere between 2 and 5 p.m. Right. That's where the levels start to come down quite a bit. And particularly if I have not had a sturdy enough lunch, right? A lunch that is low in fiber, low in protein, maybe high in a really quick carb like a fruit or a smoothie from somewhere where it's fruit and fruit juice based, you're likely not getting the fuel that you need in terms of fat and protein. And so your body is going to say, oh my God, I'm not getting what I need. I don't have the gas in my car. So let me just get the thing that I can use the fastest.
Something that will just slam into the bloodstream and we can use for energy right now. Not the thing that might be the best for how I will feel tomorrow.
Right. And so when the conversation shifts maybe to, well, but I'm not hungry for that at lunchtime. Okay. I hear you. What are some creative ways that we could add some of what you need to the lunch that you are hungry for and just see what happens? Right? Not from a you need to be doing this or else kind of way, but can we try?
I suspect this is going to happen a lot on this episode, but so many of these things are like in a loving, respectful, empathetic, helpful way. I didn't ask if you wanted it. We're trying to solve a bigger problem. If everything was great, you wouldn't be talking to me. I
Right.
don't think anyone wants to do single leg Romanian deadlifts. Not really.
No.
We're doing them because you want these other things. And this is the way we do it. So we make time and we do the thing to the best of our ability and maybe start to enjoy it here and there. But we're going to build this habit and change your routine for this outcome. And I'm not asking you to, it's not a monumental shift we're asking, especially with this nutrition stuff for the most part. It's what you said. Where can we make some adjustments? Where can I add a little more protein into this meal? Or a snack at 11 a.m. that's going to serve you better at 2 p.m. Like some small things and small adjustments and levers we can pull here and there to make the whole thing better. But I'm not hungry. I didn't ask.
Right. Right. I didn't ask. On a similar vein to that, this concept of I am not thirsty, so I must have a lower water need, paired with I am doing all the things and I'm not losing weight. Why?
Yep.
Right. Those two things together. So fascinating. We will actually drop quite a bit of stuff into the show notes today because I have a number of PubMeds that you are welcome to peruse or not peruse, but we want them there for you so that you can prove there was some research done. Inadequate hydration is overwhelmingly linked to a higher BMI and odds of being obese compared to hydrated adults. Right? There was a study that was basically like a meta-analysis of a bunch of other different studies that showed poor mood, headaches, renal dysfunction, constipation, obesity, high BMI, lots of other scary, yucky things that we would like to avoid associated directly with inadequate hydration.
And I think that's a really important point because people, not to cut you off, but people, I will often run into the objection of people saying, well, I'm not dehydrated. I'm not going to die.
How do you know?
I'm fine.
Oh,
Like,
let's get into that.
yeah. I'm not saying you're dehydrated. I'm saying you're underhydrated.
Mm-hmm.
Adding another 32 ounces of water into your life right now could make all of these things significantly better. Let's just do it.
Right. There's a direct quote that I did not want to paraphrase because I think it's just so good. I'm going to read it to you. Self-ratings of alertness and the ability to concentrate have been shown to decline, while ratings of tiredness and headache increase progressively when fluid intake is restricted to induce deficits of even as little as 1 to 2%. We are fancy plants.
Yeah, I absolutely noticed this with myself. There was a joke with a coach I used to work with. We worked together for I think 6 years. I love her to death. She's amazing. And on the relatively rare occasion where I would be in a little bit of a pissy mood, she learned to be like, "Hey, when's the last time you had some water, man?" Like, "What? Am I being an asshole?" She's like, "I just asked when you had water. Hold on." And I would walk in the other room, like drink a liter of water, come back and be like, "Oh, I am so sorry. I didn't realize." I can think straight and see straight now.
Right. I'm less angry and less hot and generally more palatable to be around.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah. Your body also is really smart, and if you're not getting enough water, you're likely to have some food cravings because your body knows, hey, there's going to be some liquid in the food. Some, like, unless you're eating beef jerky that's been in the cupboard for the last 20 years, it's going to have some water to it, right? And so if there's an issue of consistently overeating despite focused on my macros, thinking about all these other things, I'm well rested, we might want to look at how hydrated we are.
It is one of the top 2 or 3 things if I'm doing tracking with people that I start with.
Yeah.
Like, everyone wants to dig into like, what should my carb macros be? I'm like, time out, hold on. And
Nope,
it's usually like
not
either
yet.
steps or water. Like, let's look at things that are actually interesting to me. Because you can, especially if people have been tracking before, especially if they have some experience with it, like, you're probably okay at that. Not that we can't dial it in, not that we can't,
Right.
but I know all kinds of cool things we can do and moving stuff around. But first things first, like, how much are you moving? How much water are you getting in your day? Those sort things out remarkably quickly.
Totally. And it's not a sexy thing to talk about.
No, so boring.
Right. Like file under breath work.
Yep,
Like,
exactly.
I came here because I want to be stronger, faster, harder to kill. And you're telling me that I need to box breathe
You're
and I
teaching
need
me to sigh.
right. I need to film myself taking a deep breath. Yes, in fact, because we have some clear opportunities here.
Yeah, and because it will have this giant effect for a relatively small amount of work. Same thing. We're going to keep coming back to this. I know, like, move this lever 3 degrees, and we can have this amazing amplified effect. But it's not that interesting. It's not that exciting. You would never put it on Instagram.
Right. This we're gonna take a side quest because it's my episode and I could do what I want. This takes me mentally down the like getting buy-in on breath work for folks, particularly if there's somebody who is like a neck or chest and or mouth breather. And my favorite example to use is that there is some correlational effect between mouth breathing and erectile dysfunction. And imagine, like, if you're somebody suffering with erectile dysfunction, you go to the doctor and say, I can't do this thing that I would very much like to be able to do. Imagine how put off you'd feel if the doctor said, well, I noticed that you're mouth breathing. Could you stop doing that? Like, that would feel ridiculous. But when we kind of peel the layers back, right, fundamentally, mouth breathing is there so that we can get a lot of oxygen in quickly and a lot of CO2 out quickly, right? It is a mechanism for if I am quite literally running from a predator. Imagine saber-toothed tiger is chasing me and my family, and I need to keep running. Imagine how inconvenient it would be if I was literally running for my life, if my body decided, hey, now's the time to take a dump. or we must reproduce. You have an erection now. Bingo.
That's what I was sure you were talking about.
Right.
Running from the saber-tooth tiger. What in the heck?
Right.
I like this? Oh, we're going to have to explore that later on.
Right, yeah. It could quite literally kill you. Right? And we have not evolved past that. And so imagine somebody cuts you off on the interchange and you go to high, tight mouth breathing. And then you wonder, why haven't I pooped in like 3 or 4 days? Why am I wired? Why am I not attracted to my partner? Why are all of these things happening? It's like, hey, buddy, your body is actually doing exactly what you told it to do. Could we just slow things down for a minute?
Yeah, we are lighting up your nervous system in a very particular way. It is trying to protect you. And we should probably do a breathwork episode at some point. There's all the vasodilator benefits, etc., from nasal breathing that are often underappreciated.
Right. Nose is like this wonderful, robust filtration, purification, humidification machine. And mouth is like, let me hook up a hose directly to pond water and just see what happens.
Yeah, it's good that it's there. It's useful in emergencies, but it's not a precise way of doing things.
No, certainly not. Certainly not. Good side quest. Very nice. Okay, on to the next. Listen to my body fallacy. I am not tired at night, so I am not going to go to sleep. I'm going to do other things. I'm going to get out my computer and work. I'm going to put on a show that I like. I am going to play Duolingo on my phone. I'm wired. I'm not sleepy, so I must not need sleep. I have a low sleep need.
Yeah, I don't think I'm tired, so I'm going to continually stimulate myself and just fire dopamine into my veins over and over again and see if that makes me tired. See earlier Coke and Coke discussion. Like, well, let's see if this works.
This will do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Eventually I'll burn myself out, right?
False. Regular device use is associated across the board with poor quality sleep, and it doesn't matter what the device is. And a longer latency, meaning a longer amount of time to fall asleep. Like, we're talking like greater than 30 minutes. Right? It's also associated with a somewhere between 1.3 and 1.9 increase in excessive daytime sleepiness. And so for this person who's like, I am exhausted throughout my day, but I work best at night. So I just keep working. Can you see that the thing that you're seeking is just on the other side of the decisions that you've made?
And if there's, I imagine there might be someone out there right now saying like, well, wait a minute, like I get my best work done at night. Like, I start writing at 9 p.m. and I'm great until 2 a.m. That might be fine. Like, I'll listen to circadian rhythm arguments, all of that, but like, there's a way to do that. But you also need to be having amazing sleep then.
Right.
From 2 a.m. until 11 a.m.
Right.
And I don't think you're doing that. I think you're still waking up at 7 a.m., dragging ass and not being productive or useful or happy or healthy for 6 or 7 hours, and finally waking up and having enough energy around 8 p.m.
Right. I want to point out, and I think it's important to point out, that we are not nitpicking you if you are in a season of life where you are either a shift worker or you have a young child at home. These are things that are outside of your control. I am not shouting at you. I am shouting at Steve, who has the ability to go to bed at 9 p.m., but cannot stop swiping right and left and stays awake until midnight talking to strangers on the internet. Go to bed. Put screens away from your face. You will have better sleep. You will have better wake, too.
Yeah. And recognizing all of these things and being a little more honest about it is really important. And frankly, more in line with actually listening to your body. Like paying attention to the broader idea, which is hard. It's very hard to observe yourself.
So hard.
That's why coaches are so useful. Like, here, you do it. You observe. And a coach will immediately point out these patterns. I've had it happen. Point out these patterns like, hey, have you noticed that every Friday you're tired and your workout doesn't go very well? No. Is that true?
No.
Like, yeah. Every single Friday, man. What the hell's happening on Thursday? Like,
Right.
oh, well,
What's
Thursday's a
happening?
fucking disaster. Thursdays are terrible. Like, oh, maybe we should not do a Friday workout. Huh. What an idea.
That's crazy. That's wild. Yeah. It can be helpful to have somebody who does not live in your body, observing your patterns and noticing, is there maybe something consistently that's happening that's hindering progress?
Yeah. It also points to how bad people are at interpreting, and this is everybody, are bad at interpreting their own signals.
Yeah.
Like dialing in satiety signals, dialing in like what it means to actually feel hungry versus feeling bored or anxious or depressed or tired, etc. Like that's not easy and often takes people a lot of time. The same thing with being thirsty, the same thing with being tired. It sounds simple, but especially in a world where so many things are pulling for your attention and people are trying to hustle or be productive or do more or have more fun, don't assume that you know when you're tired. Don't assume that you're any good at interpreting these signals.
The body is also remarkably adaptable and will get used to the inputs that you're giving it, right? So in the case of somebody, I'm never hungry for breakfast, or I don't feel thirsty. So, you telling me when I'm drinking 20 ounces of water a day that I need to drink more water is ridiculous because I'm not having any thirst. Yes. And I cannot tell you how many times working with a client who is open to the idea of change, right? Hey, I hear you. Can we get curious and try? And then if nothing changes, I'm happy to shift to something else.
Yeah.
Right?
I believe you. You're telling me the truth.
Right.
Let's try this anyway.
Right. Let's see what happens. Right. For that person, I've had several experiences where we start drinking more water, right? We go from like 20 to 50, and then they are like parched constantly and wondering, where has this been all along? Like, well, your body got used to what you were telling it. You were telling it, this is your maximum. Figure it out.
Yeah. Your body will adapt to an enormous number of things. See also, starvation mode doesn't exist. You can absolutely make your body adjust to almost any number of calories.
Right.
And it will learn to maintain you there.
Right. Right. And there might be some unintended consequences to those choices.
Very unpleasant.
Very unpleasant. Okay, next one. I am too tired to exercise. I am too tired to exercise. So a little bit of science to lead us off. Exertion spurs your body to produce more mitochondria. What is mitochondria, you might ask?
Is it the powerhouse of the cell?
Thank you. It is the powerhouse of the cell. What does the mitochondria actually do? It creates fuel out of the glucose from the food that you eat and oxygen from the air that you breathe, right? It converts the into something that you can actually use. Having more mitochondria or higher quality mitochondria increases your body's ability to utilize the energy that it gets in, right? It's important. It is. And everybody in the 1980 to 2000s went through school. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Now you know why, right? A meta-analysis of many exercise and fatigue related studies concluded for us that moderate intensity exercise, particularly when combined with strength training, has a positive effect on fatigue with no other variable changing. I'm going to say that again. Moderate intensity exercise, particularly when combined with strength training, has a positive effect on fatigue. I feel too tired. I'm too tired to exercise, right? Again, this is not nitpicking somebody who is a shift worker. Maybe you work 24s. Maybe you have a brand new baby at home. I'm not speaking to you, right? I'm speaking to everybody else. Moving your body, even when you don't necessarily feel like it, I'm too gassed. It's going to help you feel less tired. And bonus point is that it actually helps you sleep better as well.
It'll improve energy. It will improve mood. It will improve sleep. And that's not instinctive, right? Because you finish a workout, any kind of moderate intensity workout, especially combined with strength, and your muscles are fatigued. You did a bunch of work. You
Mhm.
are arguably less capable than you were when you started the workout. Like I couldn't do that workout again, and I could do it, starting an hour ago. So I'm worse off, but I feel better and my brain is clear and everything's easier. It has all of these other benefits aside from ostensibly the reason most people are doing exercise and things like that. They often aren't going into it to have a little more energy during the day. Some are, but I don't think it's usually not in the top 3.
No, certainly not. That's not a common thing that I hear from people, that I think you hear from people either. I'd like to have more energy, so I think I should exercise. But it's a fun added benefit.
Yeah, it's great. And a way to interpret that is, I'm too tired to exercise. Oh, that actually means I should exercise. That's kind of like being too thirsty to drink a big glass of water. Like, yeah, I know, but do it anyway, and it's going to help. And
Right.
Go as hard as you can go. And whatever that is going to be enough. Let it auto-regulate, and you will be better off at the other end.
Right. I often will tell people who are dealing with this, what would it feel like to set a 3-minute timer? And if at the end of that 3 minutes, you still feel like, no, I'm not into this. I don't want to do it. I am depleted today. This is not a good idea. Great. Leave.
Bail.
Stop. Tap out. My head's not in it. I got to move on.
Yeah.
Great.
I've absolutely done that for myself. I
Right,
think
same.
I've tapped out once. I've gone in so many times, been like, I don't want to be here. All right, I'm going to jump on the bike for 5 minutes. I'm going to do one set here, and if I still hate it, I'm cool to walk out. And I think once I was like, I really need to leave. Oh, I must really need to leave. And every other time it's worked out great.
Right. I can think of 2 specific occasions. And in that instance, it was absolutely the right call to stop the workout and to pivot and to do something entirely differently with my time. And every other time it was like, oh, yeah, I just really didn't want to get started. But now that I'm in it, we're fine.
Isn't it annoying? When you're like, oh,
It's
yeah,
annoying.
I guess it does feel good. I'm not some sort of
Oh.
special unicorn. Same rules
Dang
apply
it.
to me as everyone else.
Dang it, I'm not the exception. This is
Ugh.
stupid. The rules apply to me.
Again.
Again. Okay, moving on. This is in the case of acute injuries that are progressing in rehab and in recovery. But I feel fine to do all of the things I want to do at the intensity I want to do them.
This is huge.
This is huge. So I pulled from the curriculum that we both love to use, the Active Life Professional Curriculum, the general healing timeline for injuries. And I'd like to read them. So when we're talking about delayed onset muscle soreness, that's not really recovering from an injury, but healing timeline for that is 0 to 3 days, usually. If we're really sore for longer than that, might need to dial it back, might have rhabdo, like something needs to change a little bit if it lasts longer than that. For a muscle strain, we're looking at somewhere between a week and 6 months. For a tendon injury, we're looking at somewhere between 4 and 12 weeks. For a ligament sprain, we're looking at somewhere between a week and 8 months. That is a wide spread. For a ligament graft, we're looking at 2 months to 2 years. For a bone, we're looking at 5 weeks to 3 months. Cartilage and nerve, both 2 months to 2 years. Right? The most dangerous day in training, and I say this not to scare you because that's not the intention here. For people who are coming off of an injury or a significant setback, the most dangerous day in training is the first day that you feel 100, because commonly you're feeling better before the integrity of the thing is actually set up to do the things that you were doing prior to the injury that you sustained.
Yeah.
And
completely.
so to jump in and say, well, yeah, I feel incredible and these bunny hops feel great, so, I'm going to go play pickup basketball with my boys. No? No? Oh, no?
Yep.
Are you sure?
I suspect you do this too, but I have this with anyone who has that kind of like injury, chronic pain, these kinds of things, especially if part of their goal is getting back to some kind of specific activity. Whether it's I want to play pickleball, I want to do CrossFit, I want to run again, I want to swim, I want to do a thing. It is okay. So this is roughly the timeline. I think we'll start seeing change here. There will come a day when you're going to be like, hey, I haven't thought about my shoulder in a couple of days. I think my shoulder is good. That's amazing. I'm going to take this shoulder for a spin. I need you to not do that. I'm telling you it's going to happen. You're going to feel great. And you're going to be like, Justin, we did it. High five, get out of here. And I want you to do the thing too. But what we're not going to do is go from 4 weeks of tempo dumbbell lowering and this incredibly precise thing. Like, it feels pretty good. I wonder what a set of 20 butterfly pull-ups would feel like. Like, no, because that's going from like, you know what? These bunny hops feel good. I'm going to go try and do the running of the bulls because I think I'm in pretty good shape for that. Like, hold on. There's like 3 or 4 more steps just to make sure we are where we think we are. We might be. Probably not, but we might be. What's hanging from a bar feel like? Oh, it's like a 90% good. That's cool. But we found that out before we started swinging around like a lunatic and caused some damage and had a setback and got so frustrated and crawled back and said, Weezy, I went and I jumped into a class and did a thing and it hurts again.
And you have to say, I'm laughing.
Bad news, buddy. We might have just like set ourselves back 6 to 8 weeks. Why'd you do that? Like we had this whole conversation, and I don't want to keep people in a glass cage. And we had a whole talk last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever, about how you're not fragile, and I know you're not fragile. But let's check these boxes to make sure we are where we think we are before we cause ourselves more trouble and more heartbreak.
Right. I'm laughing because this is exactly a thing that happened to me when we were working together as a coach-athlete relationship. Oh. Shoulder was feeling really, shoulder was feeling incredible.
I was not picking on you. I was generalizing.
No, I know that you weren't. I'm happy to share this. We had been building up to some heavy hang snatches. And I was just absolutely thrilled by this. Had a really good snatch session on Monday and then decided, hey, well, the class workout on Wednesday is a 1-rep power snatch. That sounds like so much fun. And so snatched really heavy 2 out of 3 days in a row and set myself back, I don't know, 6 months. And like, listen, even when I explain, like, well, yeah, I know that it was just 2 days ago, like okay, got it. But in the moment, it's like, I'm capable of doing this, so I could do it all the time if I want to.
100%. And in the moment, like, you're just human. Everyone's human. I've done these things too. You're not pulling out your spreadsheet and looking at your progress for the last 6 weeks and saying, oh, well, my volume has been here and I've done this much. And so this actually fits really well within, or like, oh, this is a weird outlier. I probably shouldn't put this here. You're saying, you know what? I've been snatching heavy. It's felt pretty good. I'm moving great. My friends are here. Why couldn't I do this? And you don't even see it until someone else takes a couple of steps back and says, what are you doing? No, this doesn't fit here at all.
What? Yeah, I remember messaging you and being like, so I did something.
I have news. I went out and purchased a ball cap just so I could take it off my head and throw it on the floor. God damn it.
But it's really difficult if you're somebody who's recovering from something to take that step back, even if you're qualified, knowledgeable, intelligent, which hopefully are all things that I am. We get stuck in, but want do thing. Can do thing?
Yeah.
Please?
And it feels fine. It
feels fine.
It should be good. Let's find out.
Should be good.
Like, yes, but could we see what a heavy rack pull feels like? Oh, okay. Could we see what a heavy deadlift feels like? Oh, okay. Could we like put these pieces together rather than just like, you know, this Diet Coke is pretty good. I think I'm ready for fentanyl.
Oh, hilarious. It sounds ridiculous when you say it that way, but so many people are out here doing exactly that.
100%.
The 12-minute interval jog I went for was incredible. Do you think I should do a high rocks?
I don't see what one has to do with the other.
Right.
Maybe. I have 12 more
Maybe.
questions, but one doesn't really inform the other at all.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it's such a hard conversation to have, especially with I find it harder with more experienced athletes and people with a higher training age.
Yeah.
Because they're like, well, I'm good. Like, I know what I'm doing. I know
Yeah.
what it feels
I'm
like.
in tune with my body.
I just
got it.
needed to like get this thing dialed in again, and now I can go back to the thing I like doing.
Mhm.
You say, yes, but I don't think we're quite there yet. Or they come out of like, okay, I'm feeling good. Like, we're going to do a 4-week build back program. And on day 5, they're incredibly frustrated. Be like, well, I was going light and it felt great, so I went heavy, and then that felt terrible. But why'd you do that? We had this whole conversation about how we were going to build over 4 weeks.
Yeah, but it felt really good on day 3.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well,
You're making
typically,
it really hard to
often,
fire you. What I want to do.
often with that type of person, if we're talking about somebody with a really high training age, that would then either, for me, do one of two things. Lead to a conversation on, hey, I want to keep working with you, and this is what needs to be true for that to continue. Or they then have a much greater buy-in to you, right? One of the two is commonly true. It's either, okay, we need to have like a come to Jesus conversation about like, you've hired me to do this thing. I would like to help you do that thing. And I cannot follow you up the mountain, right?
Yeah,
like
completely.
I can't catch you while you're rolling down.
Yeah, and you're making it impossible to do the work you've asked me to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done this both on intake and like kind of midstream with clients. I've had people in both situations where I said, look, I need you to either commit to doing this or not doing that. I remember I have a client who I'm still working with, who's amazing, came to me for these issues, told me about everything he does, said, honestly, I'm ready for you to say no. I won't work with you unless you commit to doing 0 CrossFit classes for the next 12 weeks. None. You will only do the things I ask you to do for exercise and movement because your volume is way, way, way too high. And the kind of drag you're putting on some particular joints is way too much. And anything in that world, I love CrossFit, but anything in that world is going to knock you back so far that nothing we do will be effective. And I said that ready and put it on Front Street. I was like, I understand if this is a deal breaker and you won't hurt my feelings, but I don't think I can help you unless we do this.
Unless this is true.
Oh, okay. And that person is today jumping into 2 or 3 classes a week, having an amazing time and still kicking ass. But we needed that time to say like,
right.
We need to put you over here for a minute to get some work done just for a little while.
Right. And then in the instance of if somebody fucks around and finds out, maybe if they had an 80% buy-in to you previously, that buy-in goes up because it becomes like, hey, this is why we were doing it this way. Can you trust me?
Yeah, exactly. And having that line of communication where they can also reach out and say, hey, there's a workout on Friday that my group fitness thing is doing, and it seems like the kind of thing we're already doing and that I could do. Could you take a look at this and maybe we can do this instead of our training? Oh,
yeah.
Cool. Let's take a look at it. You know
Love
what?
it.
7 out of 8 of these things are actually a great idea. Sub this movement. And I think that's actually a fine use of your time. That sounds like a good idea. Great. Like I'm not trying to keep you, again, I don't want to keep you like off in your own little cage, but you asked for help.
Right. You asked for help. You're paying for specifically this. Can we do this?
Please.
Please. Movement is painful, so I should avoid it.
If it hurts, don't do it.
If it hurts, don't do it. Right. To that, I would say, hey, how do you feel after like a 14-hour plane ride? You feel good? Because you weren't moving at all. So if the movement is painful, certainly like a transatlantic flight would be restorative and transformative in miraculous ways. Oh, no? Okay, could it be that maybe the movement is not the problem?
Yeah. And it overwhelmingly, you can go back and listen to our pain rules episode or If I Got Hurt episode, but these are people who are like, oh, well, it hurts when I move my leg like this, so I'm not going to do it. Like, okay, got it. How long have you been resting and avoiding doing stuff like that? 4 months. Okay. If rest was going to help,
It would
we
have
should have
done
seen
it.
some movement. I'm not saying you'd
Right.
be 100%, but like things should be a lot better if avoiding movement was going to help. But it seems like we're in the same place. So it's not making it worse, which I know you don't want to do, but it's also not making it better. So we might need to add something in.
Right. Could we try something different?
Yeah. This doesn't seem to be working.
Right. And if you haven't listened to the I Got Hurt Now What episode that we put out,
That's what it was.
Strongly recommend that as a byline to this. But in general, movement is painful, so I should avoid it. What happens if we slow down? What happens if we reduce the range of motion a little bit? What happens if we change the weight a little bit? If the sensation is staying exactly the same or getting quieter, that is good feedback that the thing that you are doing is something that you should keep doing. If it skyrockets, it's probably too much and we need to find a different way to move.
Yeah, completely. And it might be a very different stimulus, right? Like my hip hurts when I step up on things. The answer might be a funky nerve floss on the floor and some side lying stretching and some other things that we're doing, but it's not avoiding movement.
Right. It's not deciding, well, I just don't do that anymore.
Right, exactly. Especially with some things so fundamental as, squat, step, hinge, lunge, that kind of stuff.
Right. Do you expect to ever encounter stairs again in your life? And would you like to be prepared for that?
Yeah. It's going to come up whether you like it or not.
Right. Right. Those are my listen to your body kind of common gotchas. Are there any others that come to mind for you that you think we should no preparation riff on?
I feel like we covered it, but I think we should title it differently, and that's intuitive eating, where people dig on intuitive eating, and I feel like it's gotten quieter, but intuitive eating really had a moment kind of 5 to 8 years ago, I feel like. Intuitive eating being, I'll eat when I'm hungry and drink when I'm thirsty and stop when I'm 80% full, and I've gotten really good at that. That's pretty advanced behavior, especially if you're trying to use nutrition to accomplish something in particular. If you're fueling for performance, or trying to change your body composition, or trying to move your health markers, or any of those things, usually getting to intuitive eating is a journey through tracking and paying attention and maybe working with someone and changing your habits and changing your inputs and literally like reteaching your body what it feels like to be hungry and thirsty and full and am I hungry or am I bored or anxious or angry or those kinds of things. I'm all on I'm a big supporter of people not tracking and not doing that stuff forever, but you will often need to do that for a bit to get any good at intuitive eating and have that be useful.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. And I think this is something that can be tricky for people who come from a pattern of disordered eating, because just the act of tracking at all can be really, really triggering. And we likely need to know what are the inputs and how do I respond to them before we can go on autopilot and not have to think about it.
And it could
That
be,
said,
you just made a really good point I want to underline and kind of slightly backtrack for myself. I said tracking. I really meant being a little more intentional about what's happening. And it might be building a plate with this many colors on it, or making sure I have a palm size of this and a fist size of that kind of nutrient. Or, there's something green with every single meal, or I'm frequently indifferent to like actually tracking macros and calories for many, many people, but there might be kind of changing habits, changing how things feel, changing behaviors to get to that point where you can kind of go on autopilot and do it well.
Right. You're a nutrition coach as well.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So I really like habit tracking. And if somebody were to come in the door and say, hey, I want you to assign me macros and help me track them, I'm almost certainly going to refer that person out, because that's not a way that I feel inspired to support somebody, unless we've already set a really nice framework for the habits themselves and they want a little more precision. That's kind of the only exception for me. And so when I say habit tracking, I mean, for example, for the next 2 weeks, all we're going to do is make sure that we're eating 3 vegetables a day. Everything else can go completely off the rails. If you have 3 vegetables in this day, that is success, right? And then maybe we might progress to, excellent, I'm paying attention to palm portion sizes at 3 out of the 4 sit downs that I'm going to have a day, right? Or for somebody who is not meal planning at all, great. I need you to plan 2 days in advance at all times. I don't need you to plan for the whole week. I hear you that you said you don't like that, but I need you to know where all of your meals for the next 2 days are coming from. Write it out.
Yeah, I do similar stuff. I tell people I do light nutrition because I don't get super nitty-gritty for a bunch of reasons, and have people professionals I deeply trust that are who are great at that kind of work.
Yep.
And if you need it, and it happens all the time, like, oh, you actually need someone who
Yeah.
wants to pay attention to your food log every day, I'm going to send you to that person because it's not me. But so frequently people want a meal plan and macros and timing. And it's like, no. We're going to tell me the green thing you had 3 times today and how much water you drank. And then they get mad. Like, I told you this is how we're going to work. And by the way, it's also going to be really effective.
Right. See if you are dehydrated by as little as 1 to 2%. All of these terrible, awful, horrible things will happen to you. So yes, we are going to keep talking about your water.
Yep. No one said it was exciting, but it's awfully effective.
Right. Yeah, I think I'm glad that you brought up the concept of intuitive eating, because for somebody who has no idea what their body actually requires and how it functions well, then how can we possibly eat intuitively, right? That takes it back to the well, my body tells me that I need Diet Coke and cocaine, so I'm going to do all of that.
Yeah, it's kind of like intuitive exercising, right? Like,
right.
To some degree, I can do that. Like, I can walk into a gym 3 or 4 days a week and say, what did I do last time? Oh, okay, I'm going to do this kind of thing.
Right.
And this equipment's available. Is it going to be a perfect progressive program? No. Will it be pretty good? Yeah. Especially if I'm just kind of like maintaining, hanging out, want to feel pretty good, that will work. But it took years and years of, training really clear programs to get to that point.
To be able to do that.
Yeah. When I first started exercising, like in, my teens and 20s, I would wander around a gym and do stuff, but I didn't know what I was doing, and there was no reason behind it, and there was certainly no experience of structure behind it, so it didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
Why would it?
Yeah. Conversely, I did an experiment when I was 14 or 15 where all I ate for almost 10 days was corn or corn-based products, because I wanted to see what would happen.
How'd that work out?
Poorly. Yeah.
I imagine.
It was not good. It was not a good time, but we learned from it, and we learned okay, that was a weird science experiment. Let's not do that again.
When you say corn-based products, what else were you eating?
I think I was also eating corn flakes.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, but just mostly corn in a bowl. I really don't recommend it.
No, that sounds challenging on a number of different ways.
Yeah. It's not a healthy thing.
No. Yeah.
And it was not fueled by I would like to lose weight, so I will only eat corn. It was just well, I know that corn isn't well digested, so what would happen if all I ate was corn? That maybe gives you a window into how bizarre I was as a child.
Yeah. and the people you had to share a bathroom with just had to suffer. Do you know?
You should eat more than corn.
You probably do know this. Do you know why cornflakes were invented? They
No.
were invented for a particular reason.
It's probably animal feed.
No, it was for people. It was
Go
for
on.
people by a man named John Kellogg, he ran a health spa. There's a movie that was based on him. I think it's called The Road to Wellville, and it was a weirdo health spa, big on enemas. Huge, people were doing tons of enemas,
Of
all
course.
kinds of other things, and he invented this. It was intended to be a very plain, non-stimulating but nutritious meal that would stop people masturbating so much. That is the truth.
I would love to hear the rationale behind that.
Yeah, he was sure that this would like settle the blood and, you know, reduce whatever they call onanism across the population. And people were like, well, we kind of like these cornflakes, so we're going to sell them. John, don't tell people. Stop talking, John. No one let John talk to anyone anymore.
Right. John, step away from the microphone. Just let people buy cornflakes.
It was like a
if they
very
want.
successful health spa that like famous people would go to and try and get better, and they would have cornflakes and coffee enemas.
Cornflakes.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah. That's your fun corn fact for today.
Yeah. No, I did not
Yeah.
know that. I'm glad to know it.
Yeah. Should we do a segment? I have slightly related to what we've been talking about. I was kind of scouring around finding studies that seemed a little unlikely. Like the kind of thing they're like, oh, that's interesting that worked. And I have paired them with some bullshit I made up.
Great.
So this is science or satire. I think I have like 7 or 8 here, where I'm going to read you the result of a real study and the result of a study I just made up. And you're going to tell me which one you believe is true.
Which one is Justin's brainchild and which one is real and can be found somewhere?
Precisely.
Let's do it.
All right. Number 1. Study found that chewing specifically mint gum between weight training sets reduced muscle soreness by 20%. Or a study found that just 12 minutes on a treadmill, people rated unfamiliar songs as much more enjoyable than before they got on the treadmill.
I think it's mint gum.
It is not. It's the treadmill.
What?
Walking for 12 minutes, people liked the music more.
Wow.
Weird, right?
Wow. That's weird.
Number 2, people who listen to upbeat music during HIIT workouts enjoyed the workout more and actually worked harder than if they didn't have the music. Or people who wore brightly colored socks during cardio tended to run faster. They thought because they were more visible.
I think it's music.
It is music. Music routinely boosts kind of workout enjoyment in general. It seems almost whatever the workout is. Like runners say they have more endurance. People doing HIIT, CrossFit stuff have a better time. And people seem to perform better.
Yeah.
Next one. Regular walking twice a week grew people's hippocampus, which is the memory center of the brain. Or smelling vanilla during weightlifting sessions seemed to make people stronger because it calmed them down.
I think it's walking.
It is. It literally makes people's memory center bigger, better, more useful.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
I would believe science if the science said that smelling like peppermint made you lift heavier. I would believe that. I would not believe vanilla. I would want to leave.
Yes, that would be just like working out in a Yankee Candle.
Right. Have you, side quest question, have you ever worked out near somebody who smelled like they just emerged from Bath and Body Works?
Yes.
How
100%.
miserable was it?
It's very unpleasant.
It like tanks your performance.
Yeah. I've been like
and mood
bench pressing and someone walks by and I just get like slammed in the face with cologne. Like, oh my Lord, what was, and I'm distracted and I shouldn't I don't know what's going on. Like invades your nose and my brain shuts off. Next study, using large mirrors in gyms seems to motivate people to do more reps. So working out in front of a mirror, people do more than if they weren't in front of a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Or after intense exercise sessions, people overestimate how long they've been working out.
Ooh. Oh. These both sound really plausible. Let's say overestimate.
Yes, they overestimated how long they were working out. It's
Yeah.
the exercise
If it's
warp
really
time
hard.
theory. You're
Mhm.
moving, you're going really hard. You finish like, whew, solid 90 minutes, and it's been 25 minutes. Next one. Walking backwards before a workout can prime your nervous system and lowers risk of injuries. Or aerobic exercise consistently reduces the risk of depression and anxiety.
What's aerobic exercise?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yep, 100%. Also, see, I'm too tired to work out. Are you?
Yeah.
You just.
I'm too depressed to exercise.
I think I have two more. Training in a blue painted gym reduces people's heart rates. So their heart rates are lower across the board when they're in a gym with blue walls.
Mm-hmm.
Or people doing step challenges, like through an app or through a group, take 20% more steps during competition week.
Step competition.
Yep.
It's true.
100%. Gamification works.
Yeah.
All the time. Last one. Binding intermittent fasting with CrossFit preserves more muscle than regular dieting, quote unquote regular dieting, caloric restriction. Or telling people that exercise would improve their mood caused a placebo effect and they actually felt better, even if it was not a different workout. So the idea being, I know you're doing a workout. I have a workout that's actually going to make you feel better and put you in a better mood. And they have them do the exact same workout and it works.
Oh, I'm going to say that one. Placebo effect is wild.
Placebo effect is absolutely wild. And those expectations, placebo expectations, actually improve workout effects.
Right. See our conversation from, I think, last week about mindset. Maybe I'm misremembering that. It's been a month. But our conversation on if you don't believe that the thing is possible, it almost certainly is not going to be.
100%.
Right. The whole premise of a placebo effect is that you think that you're getting X and you're not getting X, but you achieve X anyway.
Yeah. Like, do you want to get this pill that's going to give you tons of energy and tons of focus
Right.
and make you feel amazing? And then you get
Yes.
a flower pill and you have tons of energy and you feel amazing because you're doing the thing.
Right.
Yep.
Right. And so if you're wondering, why am I doing all these things and I still feel like shit all the time? We might encourage you to check your mindset and your buy-in.
Completely. I neglected to take score during that segment, so I think
It was
you won.
100%. I won.
I think
I
you
am
won.
the most winning of all time.
You won so much. You'll never get tired of winning.
I've
Certainly not anytime
won.
soon.
No, never. I could never get tired of winning. I love winning. I was very recently told that I could not play with the beginner pickleball players anymore. And I am devastated because it means I will start to lose again.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Devastated.
Up the ladder you go.
Right. This is
I know
gonna.
this pond is nice. I know. We have another
like-
pond next door I
but-
think might fit you a little better.
Right. But I like this one. I like winning. I like dunking on these people with a duper score below 3.0. It's been great fun for me.
With a what?
Duper? D-U-P-R? Duper?
Nothing has
Excellent.
become clearer.
Should I
Stop
say
saying
it a few
duper
more
and tell
times?
me what you're talking about.
Duper. I don't actually know what it stands for, but it is an acronym, and it's basically like the governing body of pickleball.
Oh, let's say the P stands for pickleball.
Probably.
Yeah.
Department under pickleball ratings. That must be it.
Could be rating. That's not crazy. Yeah.
Could be rating. But essentially, once you play in a league or a tournament, like that game or games are logged. And if everybody is in the duper system, they are then assigned a point value. And that is used to assign people to people who they will not either clobber or be clobbered by.
Sure. This is like chess ratings or Sinclair scores
right.
or yeah, got it.
Right. And so basically to determine like, are you a beginner, intermediate, advanced, or professional? And I'm a duper 3.5.
Duper just sounds really funny. I'm sorry. It definitely sounds like a made up nonsense.
What's your duper score? Well, mine is 3.5. And
when you get to the top, I assume you're just super duper.
Yeah, you're just the king or queen of pickleball, and you get to wear the duper crown, and you're the duper queen. And everybody dances around the maypole. You as the queen. Yeah, so I cannot play, at least in like league games, with beginners anymore, and I'm devastated.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough.
Yeah,
this is how it works.
This
what
is how it
happens
works.
when you get good? Why do you got to get so good?
I still I do occasionally play with people who are much more advanced, and sometimes it's fun if I'm on it, and then sometimes it's like I want to slam my paddle into the floor.
Yeah, this is much harder.
This is much worse. I am frustrated.
This is what those other people feel like when I'm playing them.
Yeah. Do you have a duper score?
No, I've never played pickleball.
Gosh.
And I'm not interested.
That's fair.
It's
I'm interested enough for the both of us.
I really hate the sound. I find it orally offensive. Like, it's so goddamn loud. It's really annoying. Walking by pickleball court is incredible. I understand why people don't want to live near them. I understand. Yes, it's awful. Like, why did we invent it like this? And there's something about it. It's just, I think we've talked about this before. Like, I think pickleball actually looks cool, but present company excluded. So many of the people playing pickleball are people I do not want to hang out with. I'm like, oh no, these annoying white people are not my cup of soup. I need to know. Absolutely not.
Right. So at the place where I play, there are actually a tremendous amount of people of color, and a lot of people who don't speak any English. And so it's like a really interesting, diverse crew, and you get to learn like, oh, he's not ever going to call the score because I'm not confident that he knows the numbers in English. But when he serves, it's going to curve like a motherfucker, and I am not going to be able to return it.
You know,
or
go ahead.
Or you step into what you think is going to be a match that you just absolutely demolish, and little do you know that the two 67-year-old men wearing every sleeve that they could possibly wear have been playing tennis since the 60s.
Yeah,
and
incredibly
they just
dangerous.
like, can I move side to side to get after the ball? No, but I'm not going to have to.
It's not going to come up because you won't be returning any of these.
No, you won't be returning anything. You're going to get aced 11 times, and then I'm going to win.
In Philly, I live near a big square that would regularly get taken over for like community events. And there was a big pickleball thing once where they came, like some pickleball organization came and set up like, I want to say 4 or 6 courts. And then also had vendors come in. So there was like drinks and food and cool local stuff, and people were playing music. And like you could just walk in and say like, I've never played pickleball, but this seems like fun. I said, great. Did you bring someone, or do you want us to put you with someone? Great. Here's like kind of the rules. We're going to teach you as we go. Off we go. And that was really fun. That seemed like a good time, and I liked watching it, and it was great. But my limited exposure to pickleball, honestly, outside of you, has been really annoying. You make it sound fun and interesting and athletic and like a good time, and all of my other exposures have been like repellent.
That's fair. It is also really annoying to learn because you have to call the score a certain way, and your initial serve has to be in a specific place, and the return has to bounce. You can't just hit it out of the air, and if you serve it too close to the net, that's a fault, and if you serve it over the line, it's a fault. And some people will call the line as out and some people will not. And that's still kind of like a gray area for me. And if there's somebody who's really mean, that was out and it was on the line, I'm probably not going to fight you. I'm just going to be like, okay, fine. Like, this is clearly the absolute highlight of your day, week, month. We'll let you.
Right. This is really important to you. So I'm going to let it be
really important to you.
really
so
important
we're gonna let you have this win.
I think it also helps that Rebecca is not interested. I think if she were suddenly like, I think I want to play pickleball. Would you play pickleball with me? I would say yes in a second. Yeah,
Right.
sure. What are you doing? Let's go. It'll be great. And
Right.
kick ass.
That's exactly how Ted got into it. In
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah,
Like,
that checks out.
Do you think we should play pickleball? Okay.
Sure. Yeah, let's do it. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
That feels like a good place to close.
I think that makes sense.
Everyone should play pickleball if you are both interested and physically equipped to do so.
And want to.
Well, yeah, I led with that.
Yeah, fair.
Right? You have to have the capability and the desire.
Yeah.
Need
It's a
both.
good time if you want to be there.
Right. Yeah. Team, this has been Training Partners. I'm Weezy Shoemaker. That's Justin McClintock. We'll see you next time.
Later, gang.
Training partners, here come your training partners. So smart, so strong, so funny. Let's go with your training partners. We're ready to shine.